Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. I am Angel Grace and today I want to share something simple but very personal. This is about who I am as a Filipino, what shaped me, and how my identity will guide me when I become a teacher someday. I won't use big words or any complicated ideas. I just want to speak from the heart like the way I would talk to a friend. Growing up, Filipino feels so normal that sometimes we don't notice how special it really is. We wake up every day, surrounded by our culture, the food we eat, the way we talk, the way we treat each other, even the beliefs and habits we don't question. And as I got older, I realized that these small things actually make a huge impact. They shape my character, my values, and the way I see the world. And let me start with the Filipino values that shape me. One of the values that I treasure the most is pakikipagkapwa-tao or simply caring for others. In the Philippines, we grow up seeing people help each other even when they don't have much. We see neighbors sharing food. We see friends stepping in when someone is in need. And we see people volunteering during disasters even when they themselves are struggling. And that spirit of helping, that feeling that we are all connected, became a big part of me. Pakikipagkapwa taught me to be kind even when no one is watching. It taught me to listen when someone needs comfort. And it taught me to understand that everyone is going through something, even if they don't say it. And this value is something I want to carry with me when I become a teacher, because teaching is not just about lessons or grades. I believe that it's about people. And another value that shaped me is resilience. As Filipinos, we hear this word a lot, and sometimes we even joke about it. But it's true. We are people who keep going no matter how many problems come in our way. We face typhoons, sickness, challenges in lives, and so many disappointments. Yet we still manage to smile. We still find hope. We still find ways to stand up even when we feel tired. I learned resilience from my family. I saw how hard they worked, how they handled stress, and how they still made time to laugh even after long days. They might not say I love you often, but they show it through their actions. Their strength taught me how to keep moving even when life feels heavy. And I also value faith and hope. Many Filipinos turn to prayer or to a higher power when they are struggling. Some might say it is blind faith, but I think it is more than that. It is a belief that there is always a reason to keep going, that things can get better, that tomorrow can bring a new start. And that attitude gives many Filipinos the strength to face each day with courage. And now, let me talk about what it means to be a Filipino from my own point of view. Being a Filipino is a mix of joy and struggle. We live in a country where challenges are common, but laughter is even more common, right? We have many problems, but we also have many reasons to be proud. We come from a long history of people who fought for freedom, for dignity, for identity. And that history lives inside of us. It shapes how we act, how we think, and how we dream. To be a Filipino, for me, means being someone who loves deeply, cares genuinely, and hopes endlessly. It means being strong even when life is difficult and being gentle even when life is harsh. It means being part of a community that survives because of unity. It means carrying stories from our ancestors, stories of bravery, sacrifice, and letting those stories inspire the choices we make today. Being Filipino is also about balancing old traditions with modern changes. We are influenced by many cultures, but we still cling to our own. We mix English and Filipinos in one sentence, but and we follow traditions but also adapt to change. We respect the past but dream of a better future. And our identity is full of contradictions, yet it still makes us sense. That is what makes us unique. Now, I want to connect this to a Filipino symbol that reflects who I am. And I choose the salawikain, kung ano ang puno, siya ang bunga. And this proverb is simple. The fruit reflects the tree, but it also carries deeper meaning. It talks about where we come from, Our roots, our backgrounds, our culture, our family. It reminds us that we are shaped by the people who raised us and the environment where we grew up in. And when I think about this salawikain, I see myself as a bunga or fruit of my Filipino roots. I am the fruit of my parents' hard work, my grandparents' sacrifices, my community support, and my culture's values. I am not just an individual. I am the result of many hands, many stories, and many lessons. But that proverb also reminds me that I will later become the tree. I will influence the next generation, my future students, the values I show, the attitude I practice, the words I speak. And all of this will affect the fruits or learners I will guide one day. That is a huge responsibility but also a great honor. And now, let me talk about how my Filipino identity will help me in my profession as a future educator. First, being Filipino makes me a compassionate teacher because of our value of pakikipagkapwa. I will always try to understand what my students feel, what they go through, and what they need. I want my classroom to be to be a safe place, a place where students feel welcomed, respect, and valued. I want them to know that learning is not something they do alone. It is something we go through together. Second, being Filipino makes me a strong teacher. The challenges in the education systems are real. There will be days when resources are not enough, when students are struggling, when lessons become difficult, and when everything feels overwhelming. But my Filipino resilience will remind me to keep going, to find solutions, and to stay hopeful. And I will teach with determination because that is who we are as a people. And third, being Filipino guides my purpose as a teacher. I want to educate not just the mind, but also the heart. I want to help students develop values, not just skills. I want them to grow into responsible citizens who care for their community and their country. I want them to think critically and act responsibly and dream boldly. I also want my students to understand their own identity. I want them to appreciate who they are and where they come from, and I want to remind them that they carry the strength of thousands of Filipinos before them, and I want them to use that strength to build a better future. And finally, let me close with a simple message, a challenge to my future students and to everyone listening. You are part of a long line. Fili- you are a part of a long line of Filipinos, who never give up, who kept fighting, who kept dreaming, and you are the next generation of leaders, thinkers, creators, and change makers. You are the change to shape the future of our country, and you have the power to make that future better than the past. So I challenge you, be the kind of Filipino who lifts others up. Be the kind of Filipino who stays kind even in hard times. Be the kind of Filipino who dreams big and works hard. And be the kind of Filipino who makes our ancestors proud. Remember the salawikain? Kung ano ang puno, siya ang bunga. You are the fruit of the Filipino roots that raised you. But someday, you will become the tree. And the next generation will look to you for guidance. So, grow with purpose, grow with compassion, grow with pride in your Filipino identity. Maraming salamat and may you continue to grow into the best Filipino you can be.